to the show. I am the father of music, Johann Sebastian Bach. Tonight, we are going to be exploring the world of classical music, both in the present and the past. Several of my composer friends will be joining us on the stage tonight, teaching the young musicians of today the importance of musical history. I am a German Baroque composer who lived from 1685 to 1750, with my death marking the end of the Baroque era of music. I wanted to write what came to me. However, my boss, the Duke of Weimar, wanted me to write solely for the church. Tired of working for a duke that did not appreciate my talents, I asked to be released and was sentenced to jail for 4 weeks before I was able to move on to a much better job. I had 20 children, 4 of which went on to also become famous musicians. I was considered old-fashioned during my lifetime and was forgotten about after my death. I wrote over 1,123 pieces during my lifetime. Today, I'd like to share with you my organ work, Toccata and Fugue in D minor, just with a little twist.
pit band.
I see. Now, what's the name of this musical again? No, wait. I know. It's the Pirates of Pittsburgh.
No, Floyd, it's called the Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
Well, just don't forget to come and see it. Opening night is only a week away.
I'll be there. Guess it's time to finish my work and go home. Good night, kids.
Good night, Floyd. Rehearsal went very well tonight, kids. Thanks, Mrs. Appleby. I'll see you tomorrow in music class. Good night. Good night, Mrs. Appleby.
How about a quick ghost story before we go home?
Sure. Yeah.
Nope. I'm going home.
Afraid of hearing one ghost story, Lindsay?
Telling ghost stories is a practiculous activity.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, Lindsay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
It was a night just like this. There was a full moon, and the wind moaned through the trees, and the shadows danced. Suddenly...
What's that?
What's what?
I hear something.
Shh! Listen!
What was that?
A piano.
We know it was a piano, but who or what was playing the piano?
I don't know.
I know what it was.
What was it, James? Tell us.
It was a ghost.
A ghost?
Yes.
Coming again!
arts, if you don't mind. I'm not a big fan of seeing all these people staring at me. Thank you. My name is Frederick Chopin. I'm a Polish romantic composer. I did not live a very long life, only living from 1810 to 1849. But they say no other composers could play piano like me. I was born into a musical family and considered a musical prodigy. My love was in teaching piano lessons. I only gave 30 performances in my life, and many of them to a small group of people with the lights dimmed to nothing to help my performance anxiety. And under a 20-year span, I wrote over 180 pieces. Upon my death, I have requested that all my works be destroyed and not published. But my mother and sister did not follow through with that request, which turned out well for you. My most famous piece includes the Raindrop Prelude, Nocturne in C-sharp minor, and the third movement of my piano sonata number 2 in B-flat minor, the Funeral March.
So? Okay, let's wait here.
What are we doing?
We're gonna see if the ghost comes back tonight.
This ghost, as you call it, is no more than a figment of your imaginations.
What does that mean? I don't know.
I'm going home.
Wait, I hear something.
So do I.
Let's get out of here. Shh, be quiet. Someone's sneaking up on us, trying to make an exorcism. Never go away so quietly. It's so smart, not panicky. up or I'll have to take some drastic measures like
Call your parents. I dropped my script on the ground and was looking for it.
I was on my way home.
We were practicing our parts for the musical.
We thought we heard something.
I'm with them.
We were having a meeting.
I'm waiting for a ride home.
Okay, I'll do you one at a time, and I want the truth out of each of you.
But if we tell you, you won't believe us.
Try me.
Well, Deputy Barney, last night after musical rehearsal, we heard a ghost playing the piano in the music room.
A ghost? What's that?
What's what?
Never mind.
We even heard rattling chains.
Chains. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Never mind. I must say, I doubt the validity of their statements.
What does that mean?
It means she doesn't believe you.
But you weren't here last night, Lindsay.
So you think there's a ghost around these parts? I'll tell you what, we'll wait here 10 minutes, and nothing happens, we all go home. Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Your phantom seems to be late for his piano lesson.
Gee, I didn't know ghosts took piano lessons.
They don't, Deputy Barney.
I was being facetious.
I suppose you expect me to know what that means. Did you hear that? Achoo! Who goes there?
I am the Ludwig van Beethoven. I lived from 1770 to 1827, a classical and
romantic German composer. My musical story did not begin a nice one, as my father and first teacher after him believed in a harsh teaching style. I was often pulled from my bed late at night to practice into the early mornings. I began to lose my hearing in my 20s, but that did not stop me. Even after I went completely deaf, I continued to conduct and compose music. I am considered one of the greatest composers of all time. I wrote 722 pieces of music. I often like to write my pieces dedicated to influential people around, including hopeful girlfriends and Napoleon. Some of my famous works are my 9 symphonies, the 5th and the 9th being the most popular. The Moonlight Sonata, as well as a piece called For Elise. My 9th symphony, Ode to Joy, was written when I was completely deaf. My concertmaster had to turn me around at the end of its premiere to notice the overwhelming applause from the audience. My For Elise was originally dedicated to my dear Therese, but the heart wants what the heart wants, and she was not impressed with my musical composition. Therefore, it has since been named For Elise. To show my composition of For Elise, I will now conduct these musicians to an interesting rendition.
What do you mean, Deputy Barney?
Last 2 nights, someone or something has been right here in this music room playing this very piano.
Do you have any idea what it might be?
I don't want to alarm you, but we think it might be a ghost.
A ghost?
What makes you think that?
Well, you tell them, kids.
We heard rattling chains when it walked.
And there's no one left in the building after you left, Miss Appleby.
Now wait 1 minute. You are jumping to conclusions. All you need to go on is circumstantial evidence.
What is that?
Let me explain. Circumstantial evidence is a person evidence court of law.
So what?
You can claim to know the truth without the necessary. Your logic has a serious flaw.
Pardon us if we
Barney's help that we'll get to the bottom of this. In the meantime, you kids go home and we'll take care of it.
Okay, Mrs. Taylor, let's go, everyone.
Clocks are working fine.
We want you to be aware that there have been some bizarre occurrences here the last few nights.
It's funny you mention it. There was some commotion I saw too.
So you heard it too?
Sure did.
Well, Floyd, let me know if you see or hear anything suspicious.
I sure will, Deputy Barney. I better get back to work. There's a faucet in tube 10 that needs fixing. Bye now.
Goodbye, Floyd. So Floyd also suspects something. What are we going to do, Barney? I tell you what we're going to do. Tonight after music rehearsal, we're going to sneak back into the music room and see if our phantom dares to tickle the piano keys. Did you hear that? Hear what? Never mind.
Antonio Vivaldi's here. Antonio Vivaldi was an Italian Baroque composer who lived from 1678 to 1741. I was adored throughout Europe while I was alive, then simply forgotten for hundreds of years. While many of my composer friends you've met tonight love the piano, I was a big violin fan. When I was just a young boy, my father, a professional violinist, taught me how to play. I became a priest at age 25. I was given the nickname, the Red Priest, because of my red hair. I then moved on to teach violin at an orphanage, teaching the young girls there. We performed many concerts. We were loved. Everyone loved my music because it was joyful and playful. My most famous work is my violin concerto, The Four Seasons. Instead of a violin concerto performance today, we are lucky to have a recorder to spring. I'd like to share my poem with you about my first movement before we play. Spring. Concerto 1. Spring has arrived, with joy welcomed by birds with happy songs and brooks and gentle breezes murmur sweetly as they flow. The sky is caped with black and thunder and lightning hurl the storm. fall silent. The birds take up again their delightful songs. And now, sit back and journey with me to springtime.
from one of my most exciting works. I am Peter Tchaikovsky, a Russian romantic composer. I lived from 1840 to 1893. My favorite way to compose my music was to tell it to stories. I love Shakespeare. I wrote my music to his writings, with one of them being my first recognized masterpiece, the Romeo and Juliet Overture Fantasy. And later I wrote other works for The Tempest and Hamlet. Critics were very hard on me. Many of my pieces were not well received at the time of their first performance. Later in my life, and especially now, my music was appreciated. My story will conclude with my Christmas ballet sensation, The Nutcracker. Though now it is performed all over the world, it had quite the rocky start. The critics were once again not kind after the Nutcracker's first performance in St. Petersburg in the year 1892. They claimed the battle scene was clumsy, the costumes were dull, and the sugar plum fairy did not meet the expectations. To be honest, I even found it boring. Now it is spectacle to be seen. Please enjoy my presentation of the Nutcracker March.
Our fearless leader seems to be a bit tired.
We've been here for a good half an hour. Maybe we should give up for tonight.
Good idea. Barney, wake up.
Huh? We think it's time to go home.
Well, thanks for coming. Barney, we're in the music group at school.
Oh, yeah! I don't think our visitor is going to show up tonight.
I hear something. Drop.
Floyd! We See you tomorrow.
Bye, Floyd.
You can call me Mozart. I am the Austrian child prodigy of the classical era. I lived only 35 years but left my mark in the music world. Composing music was my true passion. I would compose music at the dinner table while my wife was having a baby, and lots of music about a cat. If you took all of my compositions and played them one piece after another, it would take 8 days to play without stopping. My story holds a darkness too. One night, a mysterious stranger came and knocked on my door. I opened the door to find a man I had never seen before standing in the darkness. This man asked me to compose a requiem mass for payment. I was terrified of this dark stranger and agreed to write the requiem. I was already declining in health when this stranger appeared, but after it only got worse. The story says that perhaps I was being poisoned and this music I was writing was my farewell song. I wrote over 600 pieces, one of my finest pieces to come from the classical era. My Eine kleine kazoo not music, only one of my 4 of 5 original movements survived. This piece was not published until 1827, long after my death in 1791. I'd love to share my first movement with you now.
They're meant to perform the Ein klein kazoo music, not your Ein klein whatever. Hello, folks. Sorry for the interruption. I am Wolfbane Armadillo Mozart. This guy's great relative. And I have written kind of the most interesting composition for a kazoo orchestra to ever exist. Did I have any musical training? Nope. Could I play any instruments? Nope. Could I even read music? Still, no. That's where the Ein klein kazoo music comes in. The only piece to still exist. I took my ancestors' work and threw in random pieces along the way to make it sell. I made sure to just sign it as Mozart so more people would buy it, thinking it was a true work. When I first started, I wasn't sure which instrument to feature, as I couldn't play a single one. And then I found the kazoo. I went under months of intensive training and came out a true kazoo master. So please, let me share my success with you. Take it away, orchestra.
saw him through the crack in the window.
So did I.
Well, Lindsay, what do you think now?
Hello, my name is Edward Booth. I lived from 1843 to 1907 with Norway as my home country. I wrote many Norway folk songs and helped to give Norway's music its own identical flavor. I am considered a musical hero to my fellow Norwayers. I toured Europe and shared my music with many countries.
Now let these fine musicians show my piece, In the Hall of the Mountain King, a musical piece that tells the story of Pier. In the play, Pier runs away from the village and into the Hall of the Mountain King, the Troll King. Upon meeting Pier, the troll wishes for Pier to marry his daughter, the Troll Princess. Pier wants to do no such thing. Pier steals some jewels and begins to make his escape, tiptoeing out of the mountain. However, he does not make it far before the trolls begin to chase him out of the mountain. And that's where our story and song begins.
happy. We have something to tell you.
Save it for later, Chris. Class is about to begin.
But it's important.
I'm sure whatever it is important. But whatever it is, you can save it for later. Good morning, class. Good morning, Mrs. Appleby. Now let's be seated. To wrap up on our classical music, I have a special activity planned for you. We are going to play Name That Tune. I've asked a mystery musician to play just a part of a classical theme we have studied. Each of you will have a chance to identify the melody and its composer. We'll begin with you, Lindsay. Name this tune. Those are the opening bars of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. You're correct. Caroline, you try the next one.
That's the funeral march by Frederick Chopin.
Good job. Your turn, Quincy.
That's the Surprise Symphony by Franz Joseph Haydn.
Excellent. Allison?
Humorous by Anton Dvorak.
What a memory. Brianna, you name the next one.
The Washington Post March by John Philip Sousa.
Right again. Lydia, name this tune.
Theme from Aldio by Friedrich Samantha.
Wow. Caleb?
Morning Mood by Edward Grieg.
Good job. Now I have one more for anyone who can name it.
That's it. That's the music the ghost played.
Hey,
Who's back there?
we're about to find out. Mrs. Taylor, Deputy Barney, would you guys like to do the honors?
Certainly. I'd be pleased.
You're the phantom. You might say that. After all, not many people practice their piano lessons after their evening shifts.
You take piano lessons?
I just started again. You see, as a young boy, I took lessons and was doing pretty well. About your age, and I quit and I've lived to regret it.
So you decided to start again?
Yes, and the best time for me to practice is after work. I practice here so I don't disturb my sleeping family.
Phenomenal. Well, kids, the mystery is solved.
Maybe we can invite our phantom back for a repeat performance.
I'd be glad to oblige.
Just one thing, Floyd.
Yes, Lindsay?
What was the name of the music you were playing?
Well, kids, let a classical music expert answer that one. I happen to be well versed in that area, no pun intended. That piece of music was written by Ludwig van Beethoven. It is called Furry Leaves.
Awesome.
Well, everybody, it's time for me to get back to work.
We'd better do the same.
Me too, you never know when a deputy's duty might call.
By the way, we've got reports that kids after musical rehearsal are hanging out in the school building. If you